Happy holidays, everyone! The last video I made before this was the Halloween special, and I haven't made a full video in almost 2 months due to making a special gift for all of you. That's right, the Christmas gift I'll give to you is early access to my romhack of Pokemon Blue, a heavily improved version of the game at least, and I'm hoping this will be a perfect stocking stuffer. But anyway, in this video I'm going to tell you about the Ice type and why it's amazing in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. This will be an analysis on the Ice type, its Pokemon, their stats, pros and cons, moves, and how they do in a typical playthrough. Since none of the Ice type Pokemon are trait evolution, we'll ignore the rules for now. So now that I mentioned what I'll cover, let's jump right into this analysis. Beginning the analysis, we have to cover the Ice type once more. Like I said before, Ice was and still is great offensively, but it wasn't great defensively unless paired with other types like Water or Psychic. Ice was strong against Dragon, Flying, Grass, and Ground while barely affecting itself and Water. One interesting thing I noticed was Ice having a neutral effect against Fire, despite Fire melting Ice most of the time. Speaking of which, Ice resisted itself while being weak to Fighting, Fire, and Rock. Again, those weaknesses might sound very bad, but most Ice types are part Water, and 2 Ice types have moves strong against Fighting types, making Ice types a formidable force in Gen 1. Starting the list of Pokemon, we have the very best Ice type in all of Gen 1, Lapras. What makes Lapras great is having tons of coverage to utilize, letting it stand above all Ice types in Gen 1. Lapras has 130 HP, 85 attack, 80 defense, 95 special, and 60 speed. While Lapras might be slow, it has amazing bulk to help it withstand many attacks and dish out strong moves of its own. Lapras's good traits are having sky-high HP, decently rounded stats, having Confuse Ray for immediate status, having Psychic and Thunderbolt as coverage, but that's about it. Lapras's bad traits are having low speed, having an inaccurate sleep move, and not being obtained until after the Silph Co rival battle, but again that's it. There's not much bad to say about Lapras. It proves to be amazingly bulky and powerful for any team. However, Lapras faces tough competition from other water types like Slowbro and Starmie, which can get same type on Psychic while having greater utility as well. It also faces tough competition from Tentacruel, who has a much stronger Surf along with access to Wrap. But despite the competition, Lapras can still be comparable to those water types while also being a powerful Ice type. Up next is the second best Ice type in all of Gen 1, Cloyster. Might be a surprise, but Cloyster has a lot of utilities that allow it to stand above all Ice types in Gen 1. Cloyster is 50 HP, 95 attack, 180 defense, 85 special, and 70 speed. While some of those stats look middling, Cloyster's able to utilize powerful normal moves along with its same type attacks. Cloyster's good traits are having sky-high defense, well-rounded attack, special, and speed, having access to explosion, having clamp to stun enemies, being easy to obtain with a super rod, but that's it. Cloyster's bad traits are having low HP, having limited coverage, but again that's pretty much it. There's very few bad things about Cloyster. It proves to be a decently powerful Ice type for any team. However, thanks to explosion causing it to faint, Cloyster will do far better with other teammates to fall back onto. Next on the list we have the third best Ice type in all of Gen 1, Jynx. Despite being tied with Lapras and Dewgong for the second strongest special of all Ice types, Jynx stands out thanks to being part Psychic type, and we all know how busted Psychic was in Gen 1. Jynx has 65 HP, 50 attack, 35 defense, 95 special, and 95 speed. Those stats might look middling, but Jynx has great special and speed to let it be powerful. Jynx's good traits are that it has a great type pairing, has great special and speed, has access to Lovely Kiss, makes good use of counter, has Bubble Beam as coverage, but again that's it. Jynx's bad traits are having low HP attack and defense, having limited special coverage, only being obtainable from an in-game trade, but once again, that's just about it. Similar to the other Ice types, Jynx has little to no downsides in battle. It can hold its own against many opponents since much of Kanto is flying and poison types. Though its terrible bulk is exploitable by many physical strong opponents, so Jynx will appreciate support from other teammates as well. Up next we have the fourth best Ice type in Gen 1, Articuno. Quite ironic that a legendary bird of all things is inferior to 3 other Ice types, but that's only due to Articuno having far less moves. Articuno has 90 HP, 85 attack, 100 defense, 125 special, and 85 speed. While those stats look far better than what we saw earlier, it's still not perfect since Articuno only has 3 special moves to use. Articuno's good traits are that it has well-rounded high stats, has the strongest blizzard in game, has Bubble Beam as coverage, can offset paralysis with agility, but that's pretty much it. Articuno's bad traits are having a very limited move pool, being part flying type, being difficult to reach in Seafoam Islands, and having a ridiculously low capture rate. Despite its good traits not being as numerous as other ice types, Articuno still proves to be great anyways. Though, against other ice types, Articuno will appreciate support from other teammates if it's to succeed. The 5th best ice type won't get a separate analysis due to being very similar to Lapras. In fact, Dewgong is so similar to Lapras, albeit with far less HP, slightly lower attack and defense, but higher speed. Sure, Dewgong is still a powerful water type, but several other water types can perform better than Dewgong, so it's hard to justify using it. Next we make it to the ice type moves, and despite most of them being attacks, only 2 of them are viable in major movesets. Aurora Beam is the 3rd least known ice move, yet the weakest attack. Aurora Beam is 65 power, 100 accuracy, and 20 power points, having a 33% chance to lower the opponent's attack by 1 stage. Blizzard is the most commonly known ice move and the strongest attack, making it a worthy TM. Blizzard is 120 power, 90 accuracy, and 5 power points, having a 10% chance to freeze the opponent. Haze is the other 3rd least known ice move, yet somehow very useful. Haze has 30 power points, resetting the stat changes from moves or status, also resetting the effects of other various moves and even removing non-volatile status. Ironically enough, Haze is only known by the Golbat and Weezing lines as well as Vaporeon. Ice Beam's the other most commonly known ice move and the 2nd strongest attack, being another great TM. Ice Beam is 95 power, 100 accuracy, and 10 power points, having a 10% chance to freeze the target. Ice Punch is the least known ice move, only being exclusive to Hitmonchan and Jynx. Ice Punch is 75 power, 100 accuracy, and 15 power points. And while it's kinda helpful for Jynx early on, it's far better off with Ice Beam. Mist is the 2nd least known ice move, only being known by Articuno, Lapras, Mewtwo, and Vaporeon. Mist has 30 power points, protecting the user from stat dropping moves unless caused by a move's secondary effect. Also, Mist can be ended by Haze, which makes it even less useful. Finally, we make it to how each ice type does in a typical playthrough. And who am I kidding? They'll do amazingly well. However, one obvious thing to point out is that some ice types won't do well against Brock due to not getting a super effective move early on. Also, most ice types won't do well against Misty or Lieutenant Surge unless they have an ally with different moves. Lapras will do best against Brock, Erica with Ice moves, Koga with Psychic, Sabrina's Venomoth with Psychic, Blaine, Giovanni, Lorelei with Thunderbolt, Bruno, Agatha with Psychic, Lance, and Blue's Pidgeot, Rhydon, Executor with Ice moves, Arcanine, Charizard, Blastoise and Gyarados with Thunderbolt. Cloyster would do best against Brock with Clamp, Erica with Ice moves, Sabrina with normal moves, Blaine, Giovanni, Lorelei's Jynx with normal moves, Bruno's Rock types, Agatha's Golbat, Lance, and Blue's Pidgeot, Alakazam with normal moves, Rhydon, Executor, Charizard, and Arcanine. Jynx will do best against Brock with Lick, kinda surprised Jynx can learn that move, Erica, Koga, Sabrina with Seismic Toss, Giovanni, Lorelei's Jynx with Seismic Toss, Bruno, Agatha, Lance, and Blue's Pidgeot, Alakazam with Seismic Toss, Rhydon, Executor, Venusaur, and Charizard. Articuno will do best against Brock, Erica, Sabrina with physical moves, Giovanni, Lorelei's Jynx with physical moves, Bruno, Agatha's Ghosts with Fly, Agatha's Golbat, Lance, and Blue's Pidgeot, Alakazam with physical moves, Rhydon, Executor, Venusaur, and Charizard. I won't cover what Dewgong does best against since its best matchups are almost the same as Cloyster's, but it has far less physical attack and no explosion to utilize, letting Dewgong be unspectacular even for Gen 1 standards. In conclusion, the Ice type was great in terms of offense, but not perfect in defense. Most Ice types had decent to great matchups in some of Kanto's usual challenges, and that's due to most Ice types being fully evolved Pokemon and one such Ice type being a legendary. However, the Ice type will get some interesting counters and weaker species moving into Gen 2, and I'll later talk about what changes the Ice type as a whole got. Hey look, that's all I got for now. If you enjoyed my analysis on the Ice type in Gen 1, please give it a like or comment telling me what you enjoyed the most about this video. Until next time, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.